White House furious over Trump tax returns are leaked. The White House was left fuming Tuesday night as Rachel Maddow revealed that she had obtained Donald Trump's tax returns, which he filed in conjunction with wife Melania. In her MSNBC show, Maddow said that the 2005 document had been obtained by Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist David Cay Johnston, who received it from an unknown source in his mailbox. It showed that Trump earned $253 million that year but wrote off $103 million as losses, which lowered the amount of tax he had to pay dramatically. In response, an indignant White House told CNN, "You know you are desperate for ratings when you're prepared to violate the law to push a story about tax returns from over a decade ago." The release concludes that it is totally illegal to steal and publish tax returns, and fired off a parting shot about the dishonest media. Johnston told Maddow that as he had not solicited the documents, neither he nor Maddow had done anything illegal. Maddow added that the First Amendment protected her right to report on the documents, which were the first 2 pages of his 2005 1040 form. The White House claimed that Trump paid $38 million on an income of $150 million that year, in addition to sales and excise taxes and employment taxes. He made a total of $253 million, but wrote off $103 million in losses. Money came from the sale of 2 New York properties to the Chinese as well as a salary from The Apprentice, which had premiered the previous year. Johnston said that they had fudged the numbers to artificially inflate the documents. The documents actually show Trump and wife Melania paying $5.3 million in regular federal income tax, at a rate of less than 3.5%. Trump also paid $31 million in the alternative minimum tax, which is something that the president has previously said he wanted to abolish. That's an effective federal tax rate of 24.2% in 2005, compared with 13.5% paid by Bernie Sanders in 2014 and 14.1% by Mitt Romney in 2011, according to statements they have released during their presidential campaigns. The additional money used by the White House to round it up to $38 million includes his self-employment payroll tax, most of which is Medicare, not income tax, Johnston said. If we didn't have the alternative minimum tax, Johnston said, he would have paid tax at a lower tax rate than the poorest people in this country. The documents also show that Trump was continuing to benefit in 2005 from the $916 million loss he reported in 1995, a trick that was closed by Congress in 1996. In the run-up to the presidential election, Trump became the first presidential candidate since Richard Nixon's era to refuse to disclose his tax returns. He claimed at the time that his tax returns could not be released because he was under audit, although the IRS said there was no legal restriction on releasing taxes while under audit. In response to the White House's announcement about Trump's taxes, the DNC said on Tuesday night that their willingness to release some tax information when it suits them proves Donald Trump's audit excuse is a sham. If they can release some of the information, they can release all of the information. The only reason not to release his returns is to hide what's in them, such as financial connections with Russian oligarchs and the Kremlin. Johnston continued his appearance on the show by explaining that the Trumps made $418,000 a day while paying the equivalent tax of a middle-class American couple, having received a 20% discount on their taxes. Johnston also said the document only describes the types of income, not their sources, and asked who had paid him. Trump has associated with both U.S. and Russian criminals during his life, he claimed, and the party he owes the most money to is a bank run by the Chinese government. I grew up in the Cold War, Johnson asked. The thought that Republicans would defend a president who would defend a man who for 30 years has been around Russians, not Russia, and owes money to Beijing. He then feigned a panic attack. Despite Maddow's excitement, the response from some Democrats has been muted, some suggesting that it had been leaked to distract from swinging Medicaid cuts. Focus. $880 billion cut in Medicaid in order to pay for a $880 billion tax cut for rich, wrote Hawaii Senator Brian Schatz. plus an age tax. Most interesting hashtag in Trump's taxes, 24,000,000, said John Dingell, former congressman from Michigan's 12th district. Oh no, wait, that's just how many Americans will lose health care under his terrible plan. And Brian Fallon, former press secretary for Hillary Clinton, said, Dems should return focus to Trump care tomorrow and the millions it will leave uninsured, not get distracted by 2 pages from '05 tax return. Later on Tuesday, during MSNBC's 11th Hour with Brian Williams, it was noted that the documents came from a lucrative year for Trump that would portray his business acumen in a strong light, and did not show where the money came from. Earlier, in Maddow's show, Johnston had speculated that Trump might have leaked the documents himself, saying he had leaked information many times before when it was in his interest. Tweeting after the show, Donald Trump Jr. wrote, "Thank you Rachel Maddow for proving to your #Trump-hating followers how successful at real Donald Trump is and that he paid $40 in taxes. #taxes. He then tweeted several more times on the same theme, adding now at CNN is upset that the returns that they have been dying to get their hands on for 18 months are out but it doesn't fit their narrative. Watching the media aka #fake news implode on TV now because they got what they wanted is simply awesome. #thank you Maddow #Trump tax returns. Breaking news, 12 years ago at real Donald Trump made a lot of money and paid a lot in taxes #scandal #thank you Maddow. Responding to Donald Jr.'s first tweet on The Last Word with Lawrence O'Donnell, Maddow said the point of the tax returns was not about how much Trump made. Rather, she said, it was important to know how he made it, and whether he might have compromised America in doing so. Maddow suggested at the top of the show that the tax returns might shed light on Trump's own dealings, many of which have been opaque until now. She reeled off a list of questions about Trump's international relationships. Why did Russian oligarch Dmitry Rybalov left pay $95 million for Donald Trump's Palm Beach mansion in 2008, more than $50 million he originally paid, she asked? Why was Attorney General Preet Bharara fired 2 days after being asked to investigate whether Trump had foreign sources of income? Why was Michael Flynn allowed to be close to the Trump campaign while acting as a lobbyist for Turkey? She admitted that this one document would not answer those questions, but said this was a start. Hillary Clinton released her tax returns stretching back to 1997. As Maddow's show wore on with no immense revelations in sight, viewers began to fidget and mock the host online. It takes less time to fill out your taxes than for Rachel Maddow to get to what's in Trump's taxes, said former Letterman producer Eric Stangl. Interesting move by Rachel Maddow here, saving the tax return reveal for Trump's second term, quipped Sports Illustrated's Michael Rosenberg. Comedian and Silicon Valley star Kumail Nanjiani joked, "I think M. Night Shyamalan is going to show up." And writer Daniel Jose Older simply tweeted a cartoon